Let's go. Okay, welcome to another episode of the news with the Cryptoverse DAO, Crypto News. I'm gonna give you a breakdown of what's been happening in the world of crypto. We're in a freaking bear market, guys. It's it's scary times. It's very scary times. A lot of people under a lot of pressure. We're watching our, holdings disappear or shrink slowly, right? But it's all good. It was worse than this last year. It's gonna be better than it was after the bad part of last year. I butchered that sentence, but you know what I'm trying to say. We're going to take a look at what's been happening, man, and we're going to kind of take a look at why what's been happening has been happening, and what it all means for the future of this beautiful, amazing world of blockchain and DeFi that we all love so much. So to start us off, I wanted to talk about mass adoption as per usual. I'm a big proponent of mass adoption. I'm a little bit of a maximalist of not Bitcoin. I suppose Bitcoin, the technology, the underlying technology behind Bitcoin, I believe should be integrated into every aspect of human existence. Basically let machines be machines so that humans can be humans again. And this report from Cointelegraph Research is a very bullish indicator for me. It talks about accepting Bitcoin for your business. Now, there's literally, it's a niche. You're going to see a lot of companies start to transition into blockchain, transition into Web3. People are going to try to have a metaverse. Having a metaverse is going to be like having a .com, like a website. In the future, that's the levels of adoption that we're kind of heading towards. So we need to start having these tough conversations. It's like you need to have that conversation with your mom when she asks you, what's a Bitcoin? What does it mean? What is all this stuff? Everyone's talking about it. How do I get a Bitcoin? What do I do? Are they, that's a very tough conversation, generally, but you also have to kind of, if you're a business owner, you need to realistically take a look at how it's all fine and dandy to be like, oh yeah, we love blockchain, we love Bitcoin, amazing, but how do you fit it into your business model, right? Tesla, that was something that we saw. So Tesla temporarily embraced Bitcoin as a method of payment, and that was potentially one of the catalysts that pushed asset prices to record highs last year, and also put the spotlight on crypto legitimacy, 110%, particularly in the realm of payments. That's one sort of implementation, very simple implementation of blockchain. It's not about putting the way your business is run on a blockchain. That's the end goal, realistically, or it should be. But, to start off with, just accepting payments makes sense. It's a good way to go about things. Now, moreover, crypto enthusiasts have lauded the fact that Tesla even set up its own node, right? So that's smart. They're actually implementing the technology themselves, involving themselves in that technology in order to accept BTC. And they stated that they would not swap their holdings for fiat or traditional currency, which implies high confidence, which implies a bullish sort of sentiment, right? And if Elon Musk is bullish about something, look what happened with Dogecoin, right? Or was it Shiba? I don't know. Like, literally, look what happened. Elon speaks and people buy because he is billionaire. He make joke. He like me for real. Like, that's what people, there's a lot of influence in the crypto space. So when you see big players like Tesla take a publicly bullish standpoint or a sentiment or stance on this kind of stuff, it's good for the whole market. It's good for everybody, right? And this is what you're going to start seeing. Even during this bear market. Obviously, yesterday we talked about Coinbase laying people off. But then you also have companies like Binance, supremely bullish. They're like, nah, forget. We're gonna double our hiring rate, right? Why not? Because we got a big war chest. It's all good. We did the prep. We're gonna hold through it. You see people like Michael Saylor talking about, I don't care. It's a nothing issue. It doesn't matter. Like, we're all good. Like, don't worry about it. We're gonna hold through it. Obviously, it's gonna go down. It's gonna come back up. It's crypto winter. Crypto summer's around the corner, baby. That's kind of like the mindset that helps. Now, despite having backtracked and seized its Bitcoin acceptance a few months after due to climate concerns, Tesla was only a cog in the adoption machine of 2021, right? Starbucks, Whole Foods, AMC, We saw the Bitcoin conference happen in, was it April, I think? Yeah, April in Miami. You saw Strike accepting crypto payments. Literally, the dude bro from Strike, dude bro with the snapback, he literally went into a store and purchased a bottle of Coke with Bitcoin and was like, "Hey, look at that! I just bought a Coke with Bitcoin. Look at me." Like it was really cool. You saw the AMA, the NBA. You saw the literal NBA, the National Basketball Association, stepping into NFTs and crypto and this kind of stuff. Spencer Dinwiddie was at Consensus 2022 talking about Bitcoin with the founder of Galaxy, I think. I don't remember the name of the collective, but yeah, there's a lot of bleed through, a lot of mass adoption. Now, those are just some of the juggernauts that made their foray into crypto last year. What's apparent is that headlines play favorites to household names. For other businesses that want to hop on the trend, the real question isn't how much in like how high is my the stock of this coin or the stock of whatever I talk about gonna rise when I mention it. That's not the question. The question is, how do I friggin' get started in crypto, right? How do I start to implement this amazing technology into my business so that it's more scalable, so that it's more accessible to people, so that there's more, universal sort of applicability for your product or whatever it is. Cointelegraph's research, Cointelegraph Research's latest report provides answers. 35-page paper, right? Which I will link in I will drop it in the general chat, and I will put it in it'll be in the, what's it called? The stream resources down below as well, the YouTube video resources, I suppose, for you guys to kind of take a look at. But in general, let's just break down the article, get through it together. It goes over the booming trend in crypto acceptance, and practical ways that any business can integrate crypto into their operations. Also looks at the future of crypto in payments, right? Particularly concerning regulation, which is something we'll talk about soon. Yeah, talk about booming trends, man. I don't know if you guys missed it, but there was a recent Blockware report which talked about adoption rates of disruptive technologies, right? So things like the automobile, things like the internet, the smartphone, tablets, the landline back in the day, right? And what it did was it kind of charted adoption rates of these technologies and superimposed them over each other. And in their infancy, the adoption rates were nowhere near as fast as the adoption rate of blockchain technology. Google Blockware research paper, and you'll find, actually, I'll just do it for you guys, why not? I done diddly Googled it a bunch of times. There it is. No? Oh my god, Brave is kind of stupid sometimes, Like, it really, really messes, well, not messes things up, but like Google indexing is a little bit better, but the price that you pay is a little bit where is this blockchain report? Aha, there it is. So parabolic levels of adoption have routinely begun at 10% adoption rates. This one right here, that's Bitcoin, and that's like a smooth average of Bitcoin. From what I remember, the brown one was landlines. This blue one was the internet, right? And why is it not labeled? That's a terrible article. They should have labeled it. This is where we are right now. Look at that adoption forecast, man. That's literally the same data from this one. And that's where we are right now. So of course your Bitcoin is a little bit down, bro. You're gonna be a billionaire. Don't worry about it. It's all good. But yeah, this is what it looked at. We'll take a look at the regulation stuff in a minute too. Why should businesses accept crypto? Well, goddamn, let's take a look. Cryptocurrencies are believed to be in a phase of hyper adoption, right? 178% increase in the global crypto population. I think they said that it was another article on Cointelegraph about how 71 point something percent of high earning bracket people have invested in digital assets already. Google that, because it's a legitimate kind of statistic. And what does it tell you, man? Like, literally any new technology, I've said this a billion times, but any new technology, who gets it first? Who was riding around in automobiles first? Who had landlines first? who had the internet first? It was the people that developed it, and then it was the rich people, right? The people that made it and the people that can afford it. Those are the first two. That's where we are in blockchain right now. Of course, it's like, I mean, we're just at the start, bro. We're just at the start. This is the time where we are, is the time when the motor vehicle first opened America, you know? Connected towns, opened up land, created the concept of like a sprawling urban civilization, a sprawling urban community. That sprawling thing didn't exist because it was just isolated alien kind of satellite community, not alien, like satellite communities that were just not in contact with each other, bro. You had to go trade in the market with a horse and a cart and a buggy. But then what does it do? It opens up borders, it opens up so many things. And look at where we are now. Back in the day, it wasn't you that had a car, it was the guy that owns the factory in town. Maybe he has a car, right? That's what it was back in the day. Now, bro, everybody and their grandma has a car. Everyone's got a freaking Altima, and then there's the exclusivity. I mean, there's Ferraris and like there's Lambos, and there's also like more affordable vehicles on the bottom end of the spectrum, right? There's mass kind of accessibility, and what's the word? Mass adoption. That's where we're at, and we're gonna see the same thing happen with blockchain technology. Exactly the same. Now, for businesses, that's the key thing here. Accommodating this growing demographic would mean what? Scalability and expansion of their potential client base, which is more money, more people, more customers. Receiving payments in crypto is also a lot cheaper when compared to traditional finance methods, right? Which may improve a company's bottom line. You don't need to fill out a form and put a gyro thing through or put a check through to somebody and, verify your identity and verify this and that. Who are you verifying it to? Other fucking humans, right? It cuts out all of that faff effectively. Merchants could save up to 3.5% in fees or more if the payment method is in crypto rather than cash or credit or debit cards. Chargebacks are also another drawback with traditional payment methods, and these cost e-commerce merchants $125 billion in 2021. Chargebacks are a type of payment reversal where the merchant returns the sum of money to the customer due to a transaction dispute or if the customer returns the purchased product. However, chargebacks can also be outright fraud. People may dispute a transaction. A lot of people were doing this with Amazon for a while because their customer service was like, "Oh, we're gonna anything you say, sir," and like people would be like, "Oh, my package is broken. Give me my money back. My package is broken," and they'd be like, "Yeah, all right, cool. Here's your money back." Now let's talk about the process of accepting crypto. Ways for companies to accept cryptocurrency as payment. So, customer agrees to pay in crypto, right? You get the money, you keep it as crypto, or you transfer it into fiat, right? That's one thing you can do. Now, of those two choices, what are you going to do? Let's say you keep the crypto asset, right? You can either hold, you can do self-custody, either in a cold wallet or a hot wallet. We've talked about what these things mean. Or you can basically earn yield on your digital assets. I mean, just by holding crypto, you could treat that as an investment because generally if it's in an uptrend, you can buy low and sell high, right? So price changes, value changes. And the end result of all of that is to be your own bank, effectively. With traditional finance, this is what you can do. Earn yield, transfer it into fiat, and then boom, you've earned a profit, which is good. Whether a company sets up its own node or opts for a payments processor, the way to do it is more or less the same, right? For instance, certain payments processors can allow a merchant to receive crypto, but would also enable real-time settlement in fiat. This effectively removes price volatility, that thing over here about DeFi, about holding and growing, because there's a flip side to that. You could hold and it could shrink, which is what's happening now in a bear market, right? This effectively removes price volatility. Of course, the downside is that it subjects the company to the often drawn-out procedures of traditional finance. The other side to this, obviously, accept the crypto asset, keep it as a crypto asset wholeheartedly, right? Long-term price appreciation is usually the reason for that, but it could be, whatever reason, have a Bitcoin treasure trove, right? Merchants can also earn additional revenue, by utilizing the avenues available within the crypto space. You can lock cryptos and DeFi protocols to earn yield from staking. You can stake and earn. It's really up to you. Ultimately, the deciding factor on the channel to receive crypto assets will depend on the merchant. The factor that needs to be considered is whether the objective is to hold or tap into the growing customer base, or both. Again, like trading, you have to figure out what you want and then make it happen. That's the lowdown on that. Now let's talk about regulation a little bit more, right? Regulations and exchange delistings. We talked about Celsius. We talked about, the previous news episode. We've covered some stuff, which has put, a few questions in people's minds, right? At a time when privacy tools and coins have become the primary target of regulators around the world, the future of privacy-focused coins looks obsolete. Core principles of cryptocurrency were based on, financial independence, freedom, decentralization, that's one, autonomy, and anonymity. Those are two very important things. With regulations being the key to mass adoption, the privacy aspect seems to be in jeopardy. This is basically what it is, push and pull. Regulation is a good thing because it comes with safety and security. If you'd be more confident in making investments in NFT projects and shit like that if you thought that, if something goes wrong, if someone defrauds you, lies to you, takes your money, there's going to be like a policing body that can make sure, look at you and say, hey, what you did was not right. Give this guy his money back, right? Or there's going to be punishment. There's going to be like, you either get sanctioned or you get put in jail or whatever it is. Now, that's a good thing, but there's a flip side to it too, because usually what governments do is they'll say regulation, but then what do? They try to put in like a CBDC. They try to take more control away from the people. They'll tell you you're not authorized to spend money in this city. You're not authorized to purchase this type of product or good. You can't buy cigarettes anymore because your health insurance provider has given me the personal data that you are, this, and thereby you are not allowed to buy this. And it's the person's choice. But eventually it opens doors to taking choice away from people, right? So that's the real kind of push-pull factor behind all of this stuff. So what has kind of brought this conversation on? A lot of things. I mean, there's that a dying nobody thing that happened. It wasn't really legit. Nothing has really come out of it so far. But it raised a lot of questions about the need for regulation in the space. Also, governments in America and governments in the United Kingdom have pretty much demanded regulatory action against the use of coin mixing tools. Right? This was an article from March. NCA wants regulation for, I'm pretty sure we covered this on a news episode. Anonymity and protection for criminals looking to wash and launder dirty funds. Like whatever the why is, the real question is regulation, and whether it's ultimately a good thing or a bad thing. And again, you can't really predict that. You can just react to it, really. But it's safer to prepare yourself for the worst outcome. Always safer to do that. Now, there are existing financial laws in different countries, right? KYC and AML regulations, know your customer and anti-money laundering. But what that does is, what is it? It's basically, this one is for security, like doxing for security, basically. And this one is to prevent dirty money or criminal money from criminal activity from leaving the system, if that makes sense. A majority of crypto exchanges operating with a license obtained from a government have discouraged any form of anonymous transactions. Even where there's no particular laws for it, there are bans on private transactions over a certain threshold. CoinJoin, that's a popular crypto mixing tool, recently announced that they would block illicit transactions amid regulatory heat, and the heat is rising. There was the recent delisting of Litecoin by several crypto exchanges in South Korea, owing to its recent privacy-focused Mimblewimble upgrade. That's a name and a half. It's another example of how the privacy aspect of the cryptocurrency is the first to fall on the road to regulatory acceptance. That's it, man. That's the question. It's a question of privacy versus security. And that's been an age-old question, an age-old debate with government in general. Most regulations focus on making crypto more transparent, so that people feel more comfortable. It's about investor security, basically, which could be good news. But again, for privacy-focused coins, that's a bit of a blow, you know? And right now, regulatory oversight is at its highest. And during times like this, the threat to privacy is way higher, right? Coins like Monero, whole point of this is, I mean, no one knows. Do whatever the fuck you want to with this. Nobody knows. It's about privacy, right? Zcash, same exact thing. Privacy. But these are already banned on several leading exchanges, right? But experts believe that despite the ongoing case against privacy coins, people will continue to use them, bro. It doesn't mean that every single person is a criminal. Doesn't mean that everyone's trying to friggin' hire an assassin with Monero. Maybe you just want to buy weed off the darknet, bro. And like, well, who is the government to stop you from doing that? I mean, if the law, like, if yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, that's a whole question about systems and what a government is and what human nature is and all of that stuff. But it will continue. People will continue to use them 110%. Privacy tokens for a lot of regulators are a red flag though, because I mean, it makes sense. The spread of people using Monero and Zcash probably, it wouldn't be a stretch to assume that it's probably illicit or illegal activity that they're engaging in by law in whatever state or whatever country that they're in. And most regulators prefer that blockchain transactions are auditable, verifiable, and take place on a public chain. I think governments and banks should be the transparent ones, and the people should be the ones with privacy. I think governments and banks should be held to the standard of transparency that they expect from transparency and registration and that type of stuff. It should be the same thing for governments, I think, and for banks, but that's not what you see in it, and that's why people but I'm getting political, forget about it. Under regulatory scrutiny around the world, privacy coins obscure the key identifiers of transactions, such as the address. Basically, I mean, privacy coins are private. That's what that paragraph is talking about. Japan banned the use of privacy-focused cryptocurrencies in 2018, after which several registered crypto exchanges in the country delisted those privacy coins from their platform. South Korea, similarly, has not just banned them, but any form of private transactions is prohibited on Korean crypto exchanges. This is the article. This happened back in like April 2018. Dash, Monero, both were delisted, right? Mid-March, CoinCheck also dropped Monero, Dash, and Zcash. There you go. Now, it's slightly different in America, right? We're talking about privacy coins remaining legal still, but the Secret Service recommended that Congress regulate privacy-enhanced cryptocurrencies. Australia, same thing is happening, right? You see many exchanges being forced to delist privacy coins, and they have a FATF, a Financial Action Task Force, similarly listed the use of privacy coins as a potential red flag for money laundering. Now the question is, can privacy coins survive? Yeah, absolutely they will. I think they will. Privacy coins can coexist in a regulatory environment. This coexistence will take place alongside new rules and challenges as the CFTC takes the lead on standards. So this is Chris Klein, the COO at Bitcoin IRA. It's an IRA for Bitcoin, a retirement plan provider. Others suggest that other experts believe that privacy coins will find it very hard, and regulators will become more sophisticated towards them and bring them, crack down on them really. Now, privacy is a concern for many in the crypto community. Of course, that's why doxing is such a big deal. When you have a doxed team, it's a big deal. And the concern is amplified when it comes to sensitive information. This is why privacy coins are so important. Multiple reports have shown that less than 1% of crypto transactions account for criminal activity. There you go. So I stand corrected before on my assumption that a majority of... oh, no, that was to do with private coins, wasn't it? Yeah, no, maybe I'm not incorrect. Cash still remains the currency of convenience for criminals, right? And what is Monero? It's basically electronic cash. You can't, Zcash, same thing. You can't trace it, so it's cash. Given all these positives of privacy coins, declaring a full ban on them might cause a threat to user privacy and ultimately derail the whole mass adoption angle. Very interesting stuff. Next thing I want to talk about, just really quickly, tag Heuer. They've introduced NFT enabled smartwatches, right? Really, really cool. So they partnered with the Bored Ape Yacht Club and CloneX to create a smartwatch which will display your NFTs, man. And it connects to MetaMask and Ledger Live. So the functionality, it's called the Caliber E4. I don't know if they're pronouncing it Calibre or Caliber or whatever, but the Caliber E4, the connected Caliber E4, will be straightforward. NFTs transferred onto it via a paired smartphone. So it's like an Apple Watch on blockchain. Damn, that's cool as shit. I love that. I want to get one. How much are these? Current capabilities of smartwatch and how some NFTs are still images, some are animated. Tag Heuer's watch face will support these formats in crisp detail, with animations looping infinitely. Ooh, that's so cool. Bruh, the Apple Watch has this thing with the moon phases where you can literally, like, it shows you the time, but it's like the background is the moon. That's like my favorite watch face, literally. I love it, man, because it shows you exactly where, you know, how it tracks it throughout. It's cool as shit. And you can change the color of the moon too, so you could have like a green moon. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. This new NFT functionality is set to be available as a free update. Nice. The company is still growing in the Web3 space, utilizing a team of in-house developers for blockchain projects. Partnered with BitPay to accept Bitcoin payments and 11 other alts, including stables. Yeah, right. Cool. Fantastic. Not a completely new idea. So Bulgari, Jacob & Co. Oh, shit. They jumped into the market of NFT smartwatches. And there's also like NFT art, like displays and stuff like that you see in like apartments sometimes. NFTs or so NFTs are NFTs basically. That's just a really cool piece of news that I want to share with you guys. Now the next thing, I think we're a little bit low on time, so we'll skim through this quickly, and I want to leave the Air Force one for last. The Metaverse could be worth $5 trillion by 2030. This is from the McKinsey report. That's a global consulting firm, which did a report. So many reports coming out. Blockware did this. This one did this. $5 trillion is what they're kind of predicting. I think right now it's like 1 trillion. So it's going to do a 5x. I think it's about 1 trillion total market cap. It's literally going to do a 5x. Madness. 77-page report titled Value Creation in the Metaverse. Analyzed current adoption trends, drew additional insight from 2 global surveys, one from 3,104 consumers across 11 countries, and another one from executives, a range of executives from 448 companies across 15 industries in 10 countries. All this data used to predict the future of consumer behavior in influencing kind of the adoption of metaverse technology. It will likely be divided into 5 primary activities: gaming, socializing, fitness, commerce, and remote learning. McKinsey found that nearly 60% of all consumers surveyed prefer at least one activity. Yeah, okay, interesting. I will put this into the live chat a little bit later, and it will be in the, I might not put it in the live chat, to be fair. It's going to be in the stream resources on the YouTube video, so go check that out. Read it through, because that's very interesting. This is a really good fact to kind of like throw at people who are like, oh, where's your little crypto, huh? What's your little crypto scam doing? You got your money is going? What's going on? You lose, it's all some poison. It's a bubble. It's a bubble, bro. When that dude bro comes at you with that talk about crypto and about Bitcoin being low and blah blah blah, just tell him, hey, wait until December this year, but then also wait until 2030. You're gonna be eating your words, mate. That's what's gonna be happening. The next thing, AI. Blockchain technology is amazing, right? And so is artificial intelligence. How do we plug the two into each other? A decentralized ledger offers insights into the workings of AI systems and the provenance of the data that these platforms may be using. Transactions can be facilitated with a high level of trust while maintaining solid data integrity. Blockchains can also be used to store and distribute AI-centric operational models, right? Which can help in the creation of an audit trail. Brilliant. Which, again, that's just more data security. Are they a good match? I would say yeah. Arun Kumar Krishna Kumar. Oh, that's a dope name. That is a name that rhymes. I like that. Arun Kumar Krishna Kumar. He's the chief growth officer at Bulliverse. In his opinion, both blockchain and AI literally address just different aspects of a data set's overall life cycle, right? Blockchain deals with data integrity and immutability. AI uses data that's stored efficiently to provide meaningful and timely insights that researchers and people can use, which is brilliant. You can just plug the two. AI can help us to not just make the right decisions through a specific situation, but it can also provide a predictive heads up, right, as it gets more trained and intelligent. However, blockchain as a framework is quite capable of being an information highway, provided scalability and throughput aspects are addressed as this technology matures. I'm tired, excuse me. When asked whether AI is too nascent a technology to have any sort of impact in the real world, he said most tech paradigms, including AI, quantum computing, blockchain, they're all still in the very early stages of adoption. Again, AI and quantum computing, very interesting fields to kind of read up or watch YouTube videos or whatever, just educate yourself about them. Because these are the technologies that are going to be running the way that we interact with our world in the future. He likened the situation to the Web 2 boom of the 90s. Yep, only now are people beginning to realize now it's a need. It's no longer just a good thing. Now it's a need for high quality data to train an engine. Furthermore, he highlighted that there are already several everyday use cases for AI, algorithms that talk to us on our phones, automations in our home automation systems that track social sentiment, predict cyber attacks. There's an AI quant-based financial platform called Fluid. The CEO of that company, Ahmed Ismail, he pointed out that there are many instances of AI benefiting blockchain. The combination of the two can help users capitalize best on opportunities. What this really translates into is an ultra-low latency and ultra-low cost solution to fragmented liquidity, which is a multi-trillion-dollar problem that plagues the virtual assets markets today, right? On a more holistic note, talked about the cycle of evolution and maturity, talked about back when banking and finance started talking about digital assets, there were a lot of concerns across the board, right? More work is needed, of course, makes sense. Decentralized AI can remove intermediaries, connect businesses to consumers directly. It can provide access to large volumes of data from within and outside the organization. Makes sense. Does blockchain need AI to succeed, though? AI must come to help blockchain recognize real-world utility, expand its applicability, and enable intelligent decision-making. Both technologies are in their early stages, but not very early. More successful AI solutions that recognize patterns better than humans, and there's no doubt to the fact that there's many advantages of automation in a wide range of businesses. Interesting read. I'll put this in the live chat as well. Now let's talk about the Air Force. The US Air Force has tapped into the Simba chain to develop a budgeting and accounting system, the DIBAT, right? The purpose of it is to convert all dollars in the US Air Force supply chain budget to tokens and monitor fund movement across billing centers, purchasing centers, and suppliers. They've been experimenting for a while in different areas of operation, the US military, right? And right now the Air Force is adopting blockchain. Thursday press release, they dropped this piece of news. It's the Digital Blockchain Budgeting, Accountability, and Tracking. That's what the project is called, DIBAT. To tokenize all dollars within the supply chain budget and track fund movement. Amazing, and it's using Simba blocks to do this. Zero trust, tamper-proof, secure blockchain, which will allow US Air Force management to view where money is being utilized. This is amazing. This is literally what I was talking about before, about governments using the transparency. I love to see it. Good on the US Air Force, man. We have been working with the Air Force for the past 4 years on various implementations. We're excited to move out of the pilot and proof of concept phases to more production environments, right? Air Force is definitely the leader in blockchain adoption for the Department of Defense. That's dope, man. 6 branches, Marines, Coast Guard, Army, Navy, Freudian slip, Army, Navy, Air Force, and Space Force. Half of these branches have previously announced major plans to utilize blockchain technology or other forms of digital assets. Why'd they choose the Simba chain? I don't know. I really don't know why they chose the Simba chain. more tamper-proof secret 3D printing plans. Interesting. Okay, cool. So a lot to be talked about around this, but this is the basic kind of concept. They're using Simba Chain to be transparent about their spending and fix any issues that might arise. And that's the spread of the news so far, man. Thank you so much for being a part of it, guys. Remember to like and subscribe, all of that good stuff. I will leave you to it now. Enjoy the rest of your day. I've been Brooklyn. I've been Dharma. I've been whatever the hell you want me to be. This has been the Cryptoverse DAO. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Ciao, ciao. Bye bye.